Over the years, I've gradually upgraded my desk setup and I finally reached a point where I'm truly satisfied with this setup. And in this video, I want to walk you through all the upgrades that I've made throughout the years and every piece of gear that I rely on to stay productive and inspired. Hopefully, it'll give you guys some ideas for your setup as well. The centerpiece of my setup is the whiteboard standing desk by Fully. I'm not sure if they make this anymore, but I'll link it in the description as well as everything else that I mentioned in this video. If I missed something, let me know. And as the name suggests, the desk doubles as a whiteboard, which is super handy for jotting down quick ideas or daily tasks. It also has a touch bar for height adjustments, making it perfect for long work hours when you need to switch between sitting and standing. Cable management is quite easy, and all I did was chuck some Velcro straps on the bottom of the desk and call it a day. Pretty much looks flawless from above, so it works fine. The desk is quite spacious, measuring at 182 centimeters in length and 76 in width. I love having a large desk because it gives me more room to read, write, and have things on the desk without feeling cluttered. To keep the setup tidy, I use an Orbit Key desk mat. It's clean, simple, with 2 layers to help organize the space even more. For the keyboard, I'm using the Keychron Q2 Max, a mechanical keyboard that's incredibly satisfying to type on, making emails and scripting a lot more enjoyable. For my mouse, I use the Logitech MX Master 3, which I've stuck with for years because of its excellent ergonomics and customization options. I also have a trackpad on the left, mainly using it for switching between desktop views seamlessly. Well, that's all I use it for really. It's something that I can't live without. And on the very left, I have the Logitech Creative Console. Well, at least the half of it. I use it for quick actions and controlling the music, so I don't have to open the music app every single time I'm editing. On the side, I also keep the Nomad wireless charging stand and this thrifted coaster that I found here in Tokyo. For my workhorse, I use a 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's the M2 and it's maxed out except for the storage. It's 2 terabyte because I use SSDs and an NAS system to store and back up everything. For the monitor, I have the Pro XDR display mounted on the Ergotron HX 45475-216 monitor arm. It's a bit of a mouthful. It always is with these kind of stuff, but it creates a clean floating aesthetic and it's definitely way better than a $1,000 XDR stand from Apple, at least in my opinion. I think the monitor is overpriced as well, but what really isn't from Apple? That said, I managed to get this one secondhand for $3,000 US, and yeah, it was in very good condition, so I didn't want to pass this up. Apple also offers this nano texture option, which is a feature where the screen is a bit matted, so it eliminates a lot of the reflection from harsh light. I originally had it in my previous monitor, which I'll mention in a bit, but since I'm not directly against a harsh light, I didn't need it, and when editing, I think the regular screen looks more realistic and one-to-one with whatever you've shot. So before this monitor, I've had the BenQ 32-inch monitor. It's the PD3220U, and if you are looking for a similar aesthetic at a fraction of a cost, it's definitely an option to consider. Music is also a big part of my setup and workflow, so I have the 2 sound systems, the HomePod Mini as well as the Klipsch R41PM. The Klipsch is my newest addition to the workspace. It's a bit of an overkill for a room in Tokyo, but the audio is leagues ahead of anything I've ever owned, and I don't regret this purchase one bit. Plus, I do love the design. The copper woofers and the black wooden finish matches very nicely with my desk setup. On my desk is the Groove-made desk shelf in large. This also took a while for me to pull the trigger because I did want the solid oak, which I have here. This material was a bit more on the pricier side, but it does look subtle and timeless, which I prefer over the walnut and maple. The chair is is the aluminum group management chair by Charles and Ray Eames. It's incredibly comfortable, though it's white, so it does get dirty over time and it's a bit of a hassle to clean. On the desk shelf, I do have a few items that I display which reflect my personality and work style. So I have the AirPod Max with the Banks stand, a Lexan pen, Helios 44 2-lens, and a Fuji Chrome 100 roll from the 80s, which I acquired when I'm purchasing the Mamiya RB67, as well as Laurenti's sculpture. Inside the tray, I store everything essential like SSDs, pens, rings, and a pocket knife, as well as some fingerboards for nostalgia. I used to fingerboard all throughout high school, so I love to keep that there. And below it is the books and notebooks that I keep. On the left, I have the Hasselblad charging dock for quick charging, as well as the Hasselblad X2D is currently my main camera. All my devices are connected through the CalDigit Thunderbolt Station 4, which fits perfectly on the shelf. It features an SD card and micro SD card slot, 2 USB-C ports, and a headphone jack, as well as a USB-A port on the front for easy access, and on the back is an additional 2 USB-C ports, which gives me quick access to connecting SSDs. Total of 5 ports is very useful, and that alone justifies the price tag of this dock. For the light, I keep things simple with a Philips Hue light strip taped along the back corner of the desk and a small IKEA tube light on the shelf. The shelf itself is from IKEA and it's definitely a crucial part of my setup, keeping things I frequently use within reach. On it, I keep business cards, passports, chargers, film rolls, cables, and my Apple Watch. There's also my Sony charging dock for quick access, extra SSDs, and my AC controller, as well as some Instax photos. I even have a room spray I brought back from Atlantis Royale in Dubai. I think a good room spray can really elevate the atmosphere of a workspace. Below the shelf, I hang other practical items like the lint roller, measuring tape, scissors, and a Stone Island pouch that holds my Leica chargers. Yes, there's a lot of chargers here and there because I do have a lot of cameras, but it is what it is. On the main back wall, I have the Spirited Away poster and some extra Instax photos, some from summer road trip that I took last year with Adeline, and the frame ones are also from Iraq last year with Jerome. And this photo in particular was supposed to be a throwaway film, like a test after having it through a bunch of TSA scans. Although it did turn out kind of nice, I captured Jerome in the midst of eating and I died laughing on the spot after seeing the picture. I think I'd want to add more to the wall, but for now this is it. My goal for the desk setup was to maintain a clean, minimal aesthetic, incorporating subtle pops of color like the wooden textures as well as the copper woofers. I'm also a big fan of personalized setups where there's just the right amount of items displayed. Hyper minimalist setup is also sleek in my opinion, but it does feel lifeless and dull at times. So a good balance is what I'd aim for, and I think that's what excites me the most when seeing other desk setups with their own individual personalities shine through items that they display. But if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And if you've spotted any items or design choices that you liked, or have any other additional ideas for my setup or cool creative ideas, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But like always, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.